Baseball season's around the corner. Today we're going to tell you the exact order of finish in the National League East based on which city has the best beer.
Drinking at the ballpark is fun, and honestly, sometimes I wish I could partake. We're going to talk about some of the fun and creative ways that people drink beer during a baseball game.
He's Todd Zalecki. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at the Van Lieus Brewing Company in Percy for a new episode of What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Hey, welcome to a new episode of What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow, joined by my friend Todd Zalecki, big-time baseball writer for MLB.com. You see him on the MLB Network. We're at the Van Lieus Brewing Company in Percy. Great place. Just opened in October. Come by and check them out. By the way, part of the Bucks County Ale Trail, where they have a free mobile passport. Check in digitally at 5 or more breweries, and you get a great T-shirt. So how about that? All right, we are here drinking their fine Retirement Hazy IPA with Citra and Amarillo hops. Now this is good stuff. Tried this, like this. But here's the thing. You're headed down to spring training. National League East, very strong division. Today we're going to decide what team is the best based on who's got the best beer.
Okay.
This is going to represent the Phillies, doing our town proud. Thank you very much. From New York, Todd Zalecki, I bring you Other Half Green City Double Dry Hopped Hazy IPA. By the way, Other Half opened a place in Fishtown recently as well as DC. Interlopers. Stay in your own town. We got enough good breweries here. Nah, I kid. Anyway, 7% Hazy East Coast IPA, lots of oats, hopped with Simcoe, Citra, and Centennial. All right, what do you think? What you got?
It's solid. It's a solid beer.
All right. So put that down. That's the Mets. Okay.
This is the Mets.
All right. Now, what do you got for me?
I've got Sweetwater 420 Extra Pale Ale.
I've had this before.
Flagship beer.
Yep. This is out of Atlanta.
Out of Atlanta.
By the way, 420. We know what that's about.
Yeah, we do.
Here we go. You can't get a lot of beers in our town from places like Georgia and Florida. Let's see, what do you think of the 420 we got?
I mean, it's great. It's a great beer. It's
All right, what do you put it vis-a-vis the Mets?
So if this is...
It's the Mets.
This is second...
Yeah, I guess that's first place. We'll go that way, right?
Yeah. I'm putting it right behind for
That's
now.
funny because I'm going the other direction.
Going the other direction.
There you go.
Interesting.
All right. So I have from you,
we got disagreement already.
From Washington. By the way, not a very good beer city, Washington, considering what a major metropolitan market I got. This isn't even from Washington. This is from Alexandria, Virginia, the near suburb of that. And this is the Aslan Beer Company Power Moves IPA, described as a low ABV juice bomb, 5.5. Listen, I know we're not doing all apples to apples. We got some double IPAs, some IPAs, but you can't get this stuff up here, which is a shame. All right, what do you got on this? What's your thoughts?
It is you said citrus bomb? Yeah, it's definitely got that vibe to it. It has that taste profile for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a second division finisher myself. There
That's a good thing because the Nationals
represents Washington because it is the Nationals. Not that the Commodores not too good.
Exactly. Washington's more of a cocktail town,
You're exactly right. Okay.
And this is the Effin, can I say that on TV? The Effin Catalina Shine Mixer Double IPA. It's from Tripping Animals Brewing Company in Doral, Florida.
Well, we know they put a lot of work into both the name and the can. We'll see what they think about the beer. By the way, thanks to my friend Jim Martin of Lower Merion Beverage Company, who said it's really tough to get more out-of-state beers now. The good news is because Pennsylvania makes so many good beers that the store is filled with beers from the Commonwealth. But this is from Florida.
I like this.
I like it too.
Yeah, I like
so
this.
I'm going here.
All right.
All right, I'm going this way. But the good news is, Todd Zalecki, let there be no doubt, this is the Bryce Harper. This is the Zach Wheeler of beers. This is the Aronola.
This is Bedlam at the Bank.
All right, so
beer.
Yeah, good
Right?
work. Yes.
Yeah.
So see if we have it. Well, you go. You do your order
So
first.
I got Philly,
Yeah.
New York.
By the way, while we're doing this, I'm going to ask you a question about each team. Phillies. Who's going to be the closer this year?
I think it's going to be Sir Anthony Dominguez is going to take down the bulk of the closing. But
I like it.
You have the other guys though, Alvarado, Soto, Craig Kimbrell could all get some time in that spot.
Kimbrell still got it? Is he going to do this?
He's got enough to maybe fill in every once in a while.
All right, okay, so we got the Phillies finishing first.
Yes.
That's the good news. All right, who you got in second place?
I got New York in the other half.
Really? Tell me something about the Mets.
Well, they got Verlander. They
Yeah.
got Max Scherzer.
Yeah, they'll both be hurt.
They're going to be. If they're healthy, at some point you wonder, are they going to finally break down?
they're
But
not.
right now, I got them in second place.
All right, I got the Mets in third place. What do you have in third place?
Third place. This will be an upset if it actually happened this
Yeah.
way. I've got the Miami Marlins in third
Whoa,
place. Yes. So I
okay.
guess Sandy Alcantara is going to have to win like 30 games. Make 35 starts.
I got the Marlins in fourth. Who do you got in fourth?
In fourth, I've got Sweetwater IPA from Atlanta.
Yeah,
I've got
I
them.
put that number 2. I actually thought that was a pretty good
Yeah.
beer. So I got the Braves finishing second. Tell me something about the Braves this offseason. They didn't do much. They lost
did not-
Darby Swanson.
They lost Dansby Swanson.
Dansby Swanson.
They got Sean Murphy, the catcher from the A's, who you could say is maybe the number 2 catcher in baseball, right behind, of course, JT Realmuto.
There you go. And in last place,
We're in agreement. We're in agreement.
yeah, not much mystery. All right, well, that was fun, and that's very scientific. So if you want to know how baseball finishes, just drink beer. That's what we do. We're at the Van Loo's Brewing Company in Percy. Todd Zalecki, Glen Macnow, what's brewing?
So we went to this place called Bucks County for vacation. There was so much to do. We played games, rode on a train, and visited Kids Castle. I went on rides, water slides, and got to hang with Elmo at Sesame Place. We hiked to this huge boulder field called Ringing Rocks. Oh, and I got to meet a pilot. That was so cool. You gotta go.
Welcome back to What's Brewing with Todd Zalecki, and I think our baseball work was spectacular in that segment.
Fantastic.
I'm Glen Macnow. We're the Van Loo's Brewing Company in Percy. What do you got there?
This is the unpaid internship. It's a West Coast IPA, and this I will tell you that this is better than the unpaid internship I had at college, hands down, no doubt about it.
It's a great name.
beer.
I've got the Clouds over Bavaria Hefeweizen, which is also a great name and a great beer. Don't forget, this spot is part of the Bucks County Ale Trail, one of many. See the other great locations available on their free digital passport. Okay, sticking with baseball, we are asking our viewers to send us videos of you. Any funny video. By the way, the best one gets a $25 gift card each week to the Conshohocken Brewing Company. I'll meet you at the bar. We didn't get any this week, but here's what I got. This is a thing that apparently, Todd, happens at Wrigley Field all the time, which is what's known as a beer cup snake. Describe what you see here.
This is, I guess, gathering every empty beer cup in the bleachers, and then, you go to a game at Wrigley Field. The bleachers out in Wrigley Field are an entirely different animal, and they just start stacking these cups up and weaving them around like a snake, and it becomes a thing during the broadcast.
Amazing.
Especially in those long games that
Yes.
not much is going on.
Yes.
You will see the Cubs broadcast going to the beer snake more than the
I
actual play on
love
the
it. It's
field.
been going on since 1969. It's really gathered steam. The longest one in history, by the way, was in 2001. Not there. It was the Colorado Mammoths minor league team. 311 feet. My question, when do we get this at Citizens Bank Park? What's the problem here?
I've never seen it there. It's a great point because there is a lot of atmosphere in the bleacher area at Citizens Bank Park. I think they got to get it going.
We got to get the right cups. I think those cups stack in a certain way that ours may not. Let's do that. Also, this I wanted to show you. which is the world's worst sport. This is also at Wrigley. This is an usher. These people worked for 7 innings to make this beautiful beer cup pyramid. Guy goes by, destroys it. That's a bad usher.
That's a man that hates fun. You know what I mean? Like, what is that guy like at the holidays? I don't even want to be around him.
And finally, speaking of Wrigley, you may have been there when this occurred. Tell us about this.
Long fly ball to center field at Wrigley Field, home run. Shane Victorino goes to the warning track. A fan pours a full beer on Shane Victorino. Why you would waste a full beer in the summertime at Wrigley Field is beyond me. But I remember
how did Shane react to that?
Shane Victorino was furious,
yeah.
And he was furious after the game. And I believe someone did ask him, though, what beer was it that they poured on? I don't think he remembered.
Yeah,
but he was not happy about it, I can tell you that.
There you go. That's an atmosphere at the ballpark. All right, let's go to our friend Sam Stafford. Sam is at Bucks County Brewery this week. Sam, what's going on?
Thanks, Glenn. Today we're in Pipersville, Pennsylvania at Bucks County Brewery, and I'm with majority owner Glen Macnow. Glenn, tell me about how you got things started here at Bucks County Brewery.
Okay, so the brewery's been around since 2013, so this is our 10th year. We're the third ownership group. We bought it right before the pandemic shut everything down. We're still here, so that's a good thing. We have a lovely outside space, which is phenomenal for kids to come out, animals, bring your pets, and we do live music, we do food trucks, so it's really a catch-all place.
Now, your outside area, the main months for that are like April through November, it says on your website, but you guys are open year-round.
Absolutely. We do our live events outside, obviously, April through November. But when it gets cold, we're open inside. You can come in, sit down, chill, have a drink, and talk to pretty much one of the owners or any one of our staff and find out about the beers and what we're doing, some stuff coming up, and just hang out.
Now, you have a lot of your own beers on tap. Can you tell us some of your beers that you currently have?
Sure. So our flagship is our Juicy Chowie Wowie. That's right here.
I love the name.
It's a hazy New England style IPA. We probably sell 5, 6 to 1 of those. But we like to have a variety of beers for anybody. I like to say that when somebody comes in, I can ask them what they want, and I've got a beer for that. We have, we go from our Juicy, we have stouts. I'm a big dark beer person, so I'm always going to have a dark beer. Just doesn't matter what time of year, I'm going to have a dark beer on. But we like to have some variety, and we'll do some guest taps. We'll bring in some other beers, and we'll put them on tap. Some spotlight some other places that are out there and the stuff that they're doing. But for the most part, it's going to be a wide variety, and it's really going to depend on the time of year what we have, what we're heavy on. But we're going to have a variety for you.
You said earlier that you do small batches too. So how often do you change the beers out?
It depends, but yeah, our small batch stuff, we do, probably 3 to 4 kegs of a beer. So we're going to change them pretty rapidly when it's busy. We like to get variety on the taps, and we like to change them up so it doesn't get stale. So, we're going to change them probably every couple weeks at least.
Keeping things fresh.
Exactly.
Now, the Juicy Chowie Wowie, that's your main beer. You have that year-round.
We do. We have that. Any day that we're open, we're going to have Juicy Chowie Wowie. We'll do some varieties of it too, but it's always going to be here because that's what people love. Now,
tell me about the Juicy Stock.
So Juicy Stock is an event that we came up with our first year that we bought into the place. Juicy's got kind of a tie-dye hippie vibe to it, so we're like, how can we make a big event out of this? And we're like, well, mid-August there was this event called Woodstock, so let's smash them together, and we'll do a whole big day of bands, food trucks, and we'll do a variety of Juicies. We usually have our Mango Juicy was a big hit. We're looking to do a double, and we'll have the regular Juicy, and just a day to come out, chill, wear your tie-dye, and just go crazy.
Besides the Juicy, what other events do you have coming up?
We do every month. Last year we started doing what we call Lawn Chair Palooza, where it's a full day. We typically do live music, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. On our once a month events, we'll do music all day long. So it's a full day event. We'll usually get like a dessert truck with our food truck and anything else that we can come up with that just adds variety to that one day, that one special day a month to bring people out. Bring your lawn chairs out and sit and hang out.
Awesome. It sounds amazing, Glenn.
Thank you.
And back to our Glenn. Glenn, if you're not busy on August 13th, make sure you come to the Juicy Stock because it sounds like it's the place to be.
Oh, Sam, that looks like a lot of fun. Bring us some of that. Hey, with Todd Zalecki, I'm Glen Macnow. Coming up, we're going to meet our friend Joe Sixpack, see what he's up to. We're at the Van Lieus Brewing Company in Percy for What's Brewing. Hey, it's Glen Macnow here with Andrew Colligan, genius and chief bottle washer at the Conshohocken Brewing Company, here to show us what's hot for 2023.
Our lead dog, Type A IPA, citrus and grapefruit, 7% West Coast IPA.
Love this one. It's coming home with me. What's next?
Life Coach, our hazy IPA, our fastest growing brand, juicy and citrusy, perfect for any hazy IPA.
And very crushable. Keep going.
Ring the Bell, our American lager, crisp, clean, easy drinking, tastes especially good down to the game.
No better way to celebrate a win. And
Backpack beer, our Belgian style wheat, light, refreshing, and approachable. Throw a couple backpacks in your backpack.
I'm gonna go take a hike. Finally,
Publish Row, our classic ESB, proud to make maybe one of the best English ales in the country. Philly loves an underdog, support your local brewery and watering hole.
it's a beautiful sentiment. All these available at Conshohocken Brewing locations or wherever great beer is sold. Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. I'm Glen Macnow. This is the part of the show where we go overseas and check in with the expert, the man himself, Joe Sixpack. You can follow him at beer_radar on Twitter. Of course, I'm at Real Glen Macnow on Twitter. Nice to see you, my friend. We start today talking about a trend that I think you and I thought is a joke, but it's coming back full force. Joe Sixpack, let's talk about the cold IPA.
Yeah, we both of it thought that, along with the brute IPAs, were just flash in the pans. And but the cold IPAs are still out there. I see a lot of people talking about them, and I think that as we move into the warmer weather, we're going to see even more of them because it is a really refreshing style of beer. So exactly what is cold IPA? I mean, if you put it in a fridge, an IPA in a fridge,
Right.
Is that cold? Well,
Sounds
yeah, I guess
great.
it is.
I mean, what sounds better than a cold IPA? I'm already in. But what is it like technically, scientifically, from a brewer's point of view? What is it?
Well, it's actually an India Pale Ale that instead of being fermented at a relatively warm temperature, they fermented at a lower temperature, and that, like a lager, for example, and the lower temperature tends to eliminate some of the other flavors that an IPA often has, the esters, sort of the sharper flavors, and it makes the beer a smoother, crispier beer. Think of like a combination of, say, a nice cold lager with a hoppy beer that's not too bitter, and that is a cold IPA. People use the term crushable because you can drink a lot of it at fast.
That sounds fantastic to me. I think this is going to be my drink of the spring and the summer. And by the way, I brought one in today. This is our friends at Victory Brewing. Make Cold Front Cold IPA. Comes in at 7.0% ABV. And I'll just tell you how they describe it. Bear with me. Brewed with Mosaic, Chinook, and Amarillo hops. The temps drop, the cold air gusts. The sun shines through this cold IPA with light bursts of pineapple, orange, and grapefruit notes, rounding out a hint of pine. I love that. I'm in.
It sounds great. You'll notice that they don't use the word bitter in that description, even though it is an IPA, because it is supposed to be easy drinking. The thing I find when I drink a cold IPA is that it tastes really good up front, but it doesn't have much of a lingering taste. It just finishes off and almost disappears right on the palate. Which is one reason I'm not that crazy about this style. But I think, when it's getting warmer weather, I think it's definitely a really good, refreshing style of beer to go for.
All right, it's time for our Ask Joe Sixpack segment. We always invite our viewers to come in with a question for the expert. And this one comes from, I forgot to write down his name and I apologize. But the question is, why does Genesee Cream Ale have a reputation as a lousy beer? In my opinion, it's very unique, super smooth, delicious taste. It's won awards, it's economically priced, but most people rip on it and they've never tried it. By the way, this takes me back to my roots. I grew up in Buffalo, New York. I think this is out of Rochester. I found one in my beer store, Lower Merion Beverage Company. Thank you very much. While you describe it, I'm going to enjoy it.
Cream ale. It's, the Jenny Cream has been around since 1960, and you're right. It's won a lot of medals out there, Glenn. People do actually like that beer. I think the people that, may talk it down a little bit or are somewhat snobby about it because they're drinking more full-flavored, powerful beers. But, among brewers and a lot of other folks who work hard, they like that beer because it's really refreshing and it's actually pretty well made. It's not my favorite style of beer, actually. I know you love cream ale, Glenn.
I do. Again, it's what I began with. Right. It's kind of what I began with, so I'm nostalgic about it. But I put something up about, when this question came in, I put something up on my social media about it, and Joe Sixpack, I got like 100 responses, half of which were, oh my God, that's a great beer, it's underrated, I love it. And some of which were, and I love this is Bill Matz said, it's my go-to unemployment beer.
Nice and cheap. It's an interesting style. Cream ale is starts as an ale, but then it's fermented at a warmer, or rather colder temperature, or conditioned at a colder temperature, and that smooths it out. Not unlike that cold IPA we were just talking about.
Right. So we will pay a little tribute today to Genesee Cream. One of these days, I want to do a thing on the show on underrated beers, and to me, this is an underrated beer. Anyway, let's close with this. What are you drinking today?
I am actually drinking, ironically, this is a French beer called Smoke Waleski, and it's a India Pale Lager, sort of like a cold IPA.
Very nice. Well, here's to you. Enjoy. Joe Sixpack, we'll see you next week. We'll be right back with more of What's Brewing. Welcome back to What's Brewing. We're at the Van Leeuwen's Brewing Company in Percy. Todd Zalecki's my partner today. We'll introduce this guy in a second, but I'll first tell you that this is part of the Bucks County Ale Trail. This is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to things to do around here. Plan your next trip at visitbuckscounty.com. Galen Barr is the head brewer and owner of this here joint. I'm drinking a Nitro, an English Pale Ale. You call it Doug after your...
Our mascot, Doug.
There you go.
Our dog, yes.
And I love a Nitro, and I'm really impressed that you guys are doing this. Todd, what do you got there?
I've got the Magic Bullet coffee stout. It's nice. I'm usually an IPA guy, but every once in a while I like to do a nice change of pace. I'm changing my pace.
I love it. And it's your joint. What do you got?
I have our Kolsch. So it's a German ale, almost lager-like, nice and crisp, clean.
Okay. This is a small place. How much is your batch each week?
It's 5 barrels, so about 150 gallons.
But you've got a lot on the menu. You got a very ambitious menu going on.
We've been busy, yeah. We try to keep a rotation at least once a week and, keep new beers coming.
Mm-hmm. How'd you name this place? Because that's not your last name.
It is not. It's where it all began. So my parents live on Van Leeuwen's Road, and they were nice enough to have all my stuff in the basement where I would craft recipes and come up with what you drink here today.
Okay, you, Galen, are living the dream for what a lot of our viewers want to do, which is you started as a home brewer. You started, as you said, in the basement at your dad's house. Yep. You worked in finance, right, for 13 years?
13 years, yes.
Okay, decided that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That's right.
How do you make the transition to move from that to this?
So yeah, just started writing a business plan when I still worked with my company in finance. Brewed at least once a week in the basement to start making recipes, and just finally took the leap one day and quit.
But it's guts. I mean, that's the thing. It's guts, right? So again, I know a lot of guys who brew, and women who brew in their house, and think like, I can make a go of this. People tell me my beer is good.
Yeah.
But it's risky.
It was.
I mean, I probably don't need to remind you.
Right. Just a few sleepless nights, but we've been open 3 months, and so far so good, and it's been worth it. So never looked back.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.
Was there a moment for you though that you're like, this can be more than just a dream, and particular beer that you made or a conversation you have with somebody that said, I actually think I can do this and I can be successful at it?
Yeah, I mean, the feedback that we got just from people coming over, and they're the ones who started calling it Van Lieus Brewing Company, not me. So the feedback that we got and me going to different breweries, I felt like my beer could be on par with that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Percy, which is where you have built this place, this is our second visit to Percy. There's a lot going on here for a small town that, to be honest, I haven't gotten to Percy a lot over the years. It seems like it's really on the uptick.
Percy has become a destination for breweries, and that's not by accident. They have been with us every step of the way, from planning the building, the build out, events that they plan for us. It's not by accident, and they're doing a fantastic job to promote this kind of industry and things like that.
Is there a beer that you're particularly proud of? I'm sure you're proud of all of them. They're kind of like you're all your children,
right.
But you might have a favorite child, for instance.
Right.
Maybe not. But what
Todd,
do you like?
where do you come
I've got 2 kids. I love them both the same.
There you go.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, good answer. I think Retirement, our flagship hazy IPA, it's the beer that I've brewed the most of over the years, probably over 100 iterations of that one alone just to perfect it. So that's my baby, if you will, more than the others. But
okay,
I'm proud of
I
that.
really enjoy this, which is the English Pale Ale, English Pub Ale. I'm with Conshohocken Brewing. We do one of these that we're very proud of, the Puddler's Row. But it can be a tough sell, right?
It can.
Is this a beer that brewers love? But maybe it's like, how do you get the general public to realize, like, this is really good, try this?
Well, it's both, right? We love it, so selfishly I want it on the menu as much as possible. But we've been lucky enough, that's the second batch that we've brewed in 3 months, so it does move, and people like it. So
And you got the nitro,
that's it.
right?
Yeah.
Which is, that's an investment on your part.
It adds another layer to the beer, I think. It's a really good experience.
Okay, so tell people your hours, how they find you. I want people to come here and check out all this good beer.
So Thursday through Sunday, we're open. Thursday and Friday, 3 to 8. Saturday, 12 to 8. Sunday, 12 to 5.
Nice,
And
very
we
nice.
spend the rest of the days in the back making the beer.
Okay, and you got food nearby. There's a pizza place right across the street, right? I can order on my phone, get the pizza here. You don't mind if I eat the pizza here while I
Not
drink
at
this
all.
fine beer?
It's encouraged.
All right, last question. Okay, who's going to win the National League East this year?
Phillies.
There you go.
it.
Great
Gotta
job.
be. Gotta
Galen,
be.
you passed the test.
All right.
And you passed the beer test with flying colors. Todd,
Fantastic.
great having you as a co-host
thank you
again,
so
my
much. I
friend. Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
spring
Cheers, guys.
training.
Cheers.
I'll see you at the ballpark, and we'll all see you next week for an all-new episode of What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.